everybody? I'm your host, J5, and welcome to the Block Podcast, where we focus on entrepreneurial growth as well as social issues and injustices that surround the urban community, bringing to you real-life experience for the advancement of business development. Okay, look, this episode is for the fellas and all the ladies with a man, boyfriend, husband, whatever you want to call them. Look, if their suits, shoes, shirts, ties, hats didn't come from this man, then they're probably not as fresh as they think they are. Hashtag truth. This gentleman has supplied some of the freshest men's outfits from weddings, concerts, birthdays, all-white parties, church, Easter Sunday, and of course your everyday business attire. And we're going to find out exactly how he did it right here on the block. But first, before we step out on the block, let me pause for the cause and take a moment to show love to the people who pay me. Now, I don't know about you, but I like to make my sponsors make sense. And with COVID-19 being upon us, whether it be business or personal, you need professionals that can supply you with all your personal protection equipment. So when it comes time to have masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, or reliable disinfectants for the studio to keep me and my guests safe, I know ROI Marketing and Safety have got me and my guests covered. So log on to www.roippe.com or drop them an email at sales@roippe.com. That's roippe.com, and let them keep you and yours safe. Now, let's step out on the block. This gentleman is a connoisseur of all things fashion and a pillar in the clothing industry throughout the Midwest. This gentleman has been in business keeping men dapper for over 30 years. That's longer than I've been fresh. So, I'd like for you to welcome to the Block Podcast the owner of Al's Modern Clothing, Mr. Alfonso Wright.
How you doing, John?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I can't complain, man. Trying to stay dry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. It is a wet day.
Yes, it is. Indeed. And I know you got to stay dry because you stay fresh, man. So you got to stay on it.
I got to do what I got to do.
Hey, man, and you do it well, my
I
friend.
appreciate
You
that,
do it quite well. And that is the reason why I had to have you on here, because I know that the knowledge and experience that you have can benefit a lot of people, man, because there's a lot of young people out here that are wanting to do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're confused. They don't know where to start.
Right.
Some think it's maybe too hard
Mm-hmm.
to even start.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you can shed a little light on that
For sure.
to give them the information that they may need.
Yes.
And also let the people know, man, just who you are,
Okay.
that don't know who you are already,
Right.
That haven't been blessed with some of your threads.
Okay.
So, man, go ahead, man, and give a little insight on who you are, man, and let people know, what you do.
Okay.
My friend.
Well, like I said, I'm Alfonso Wright. I own Al's Modern Clothing and Shoes. I've been there. October will be 2 years.
Okay.
But people here in the city of Indianapolis know me more for when I had Players Modern Clothing, and I opened that in like 1994 and had it till 2011.
Okay.
And so then I closed, and then I opened back up under Al's Modern Clothing in October, November of 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been in this business and doing what you do, being around what you do?
Okay. Well, actually, it's a family business. John, my dad started it in 1969 in Peoria, Illinois, where we're from.
Okay.
And he told me when I was a kid, he said, "Hey, I want you to go to college and get your degree, and I'm gonna get you a store." Out of 8 children, my dad made me go to the private school out of all the other kids, and said, "I'm like, why are you making me go to the private school? Everybody's get to go be with all their friends, this, that, and the other." He's like, "Because you're gonna run the family business one day."
Wow.
And so he says, "But you got to get your degree." And so I went to college, and I played basketball in college, and got my degree, and that's how I got started pretty much with the store.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm from Peoria, but he wanted to do something in the Indianapolis area.
What school did you go to?
In Peoria?
Yeah.
College or?
College.
Southern Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you stayed in Illinois.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So when did you come to Indiana?
I came to Indiana and opened up my store. Players opened it up in 1994.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you came straight here dropped the bomb and
Well, I came here with the intent on opening up a business, but I got here in '91. So my first 3 years here, before I actually got the store, I was working at the Juvenile Center up on 25th and Keystone.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man! See, I got a college degree in criminal justice.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that was pretty easy to get. My dad said get a degree, but he ain't saying what.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
hey, here I am doing this. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right.
But honestly though, I was in political science, and I was actually going to go to school to be an attorney.
Okay.
And things kind of changed, so I ended up doing what I'm doing. And I'm glad that I'm actually doing it because, like I said, my dad wanted me to do it to keep the family business going, this, that, and this. So he's retired now, and so now I was working with him when I had players.
Okay.
And so now my son actually works with me at Al's Modern Clothing.
So how many generations are we talking in the clothing?
The clothing
of
business,
doing your own thing.
Business. My dad started, and then me, but my family, my dad's father, my grandfather, my great grandfather also, they all had their own businesses too.
Okay, in clothing or just in business?
No,
so your dad, you, and now your son,
yes,
are in the clothing business.
Yes,
and been very successful at it. We see.
I would hope so.
Well, we know you. A true businessman is always climbing, of course.
Okay,
You know what I mean.
yeah.
But so far, you have been able to do quite well in what you do, and there's a lot of people who respect what you do. Clients has been with you for years.
Yes. What I've learned, and this is one thing I've learned when I was at college, and a lot of people have a problem with this, but the customer is always right. And a lot of people there's no way. Yes, they are when they're in your place of business.
Right.
Now we know nobody is always right. We do know
exactly.
that. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
you as a person that's selling, you have to still make that person feel that way regardless.
Okay.
And be genuine and sincere. But
Okay.
the customer is always right because when the customer comes in and make purchases, that's how you stay in business.
This
You
is
know what I
true.
mean? That's how you stay in business. And
This
if you
is true.
think that way, you won't find yourself in little bitty. You won't have a small confrontation. You won't have a big or a small. It won't happen because you're always thinking the customer is always right. So I got to make sure they're satisfied.
Okay. And that now with that, because like you said, a lot of people, say that, that's not, they're not, no, the customer's not always right. Some people, it's crazy. How is that, apparently if you've thought that way and you've been in business this long, you know what I mean? That is apparently something that you stand by, and apparently is working well for you. You know what I mean? Is there any other like just hard rocks that you stand to that have led you through the business that you are now, that you feel that are the principles that you go by when it comes to business?
You got to have integrity. You know what I mean? You really have to treat a person the way you want to be treated. And you have to be consistent. So if I get a celebrity come in my store, I'm gonna treat that celebrity, John, the same way I treat you, no different. So because they'll feel you genuine. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's really about, like I said, it all boils down to just your customer's always right. You know, and so and even if a customer comes and say, man, well that costs too much, well, I can show you something that don't cost as much. It's just the customer. When you get that in your head and you're running a business, it always will work out.
Okay.
But if you got to get into a confrontation with your customer and all that type of stuff because the person letting their own ego get in the way, you ain't going to last long. And guess what? The customer isn't always right. But when he walks out, you still got to make him feel the way, even if he wasn't. But guess what? He might have spent $200 or $300 too. But he just became a loyal customer because of how you treated him. And when he steps out, even if a person does do something they may be a little wrong, they know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've had people come back and actually apologize to me about it. I'm like, oh man, everything is fine. Just a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because man, I just so happened, man, to be looking at on Facebook, and I was looking at some of your photos, and I realized that one of your photos, I was at the wedding of the groom that you dressed.
Okay.
Because I remember looking at the suit and going, man, that is wow, that's sharp. You know what I mean? It was the blue with the paisley print on it.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and
Elliot.
I was like, Elliot, there you go, boy.
Yeah.
See, that right there, is something that really, business owners today really need to pay attention to.
Right.
is you knew his name. I didn't say anything about the wedding. I didn't say anything about nothing that went on.
You told me about what he had on, and I knew right there.
And all I told you was a suit jacket.
Yes. Yep.
And you said his last name.
Yep.
That is knowing customers.
Yeah.
That's customer service right there.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you know, you talk about the players' modern clothing. Mm-hmm. Okay. What made you step away? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've never stepped away, but my dad started in 1969, and so back in the 70s, you know, the word player was considered cool.
Right.
You know,
right.
So when I got here to Indianapolis and I started the store here, my dad got me going. I was only 28 at that time.
Okay, so now the name players came from your dad's store.
That's
You
family
just
business.
took it. Okay, all right,
family
okay.
business. Well, and I did it for a reason. 28 years old, you're going into the business of doing the clothing thing. It's pretty tough.
Right.
You know, I'm just be honest with you. A black male,
yes.
it's tough. When I say it's tough, I'm talking when you go to the industry to do your purchasing and all of that. So when I go to the industry, when I went back then, when I said Henry Wright, Players Modern Clothing, so now sit down. You see what I mean? So I was able to. There wasn't no.
You brought that clout
because my dad had been in business since 1969, and that was
exactly.
19. Here I opened the store. This is 25 years later.
Yeah.
So he's a pillar in the community. They know him.
So
when I mentioned my dad's name and I mentioned the store name, it's okay. What do you want?
Things got
so
done.
Then I could actually order certain things. A lot of time you have to wait to get certain products that are kind of upscale. It's just it's a little pricier, so they may not trust you. You got to get your credit. There's a lot of things you got to do.
Okay.
But if you got somebody that was already going down that road, that's what I was wanting to talk to you about as far as somebody else wanting to start a business.
Yes.
A lot of times a person wants to start a business. Sometimes people don't have the finances.
This is true.
But you can work with somebody. You might have an uncle, a grandfather, or just a person that just, a mentor. And you work alongside them and learn what they're doing. They could help you get to the point that if nothing else, they could let you invest with them to become 10, 15, 20% owner. And eventually, they could help it to where you can get your own because it's just somebody you know. Just like me working with my dad and my dad getting me started. So a lot of times it's just a matter of you finding somebody else that's already doing something that you enjoy doing. Okay. And there you go. But you got to enjoy doing it. It won't work if you go to do something.
Yeah, it's got to be
you're not
passion.
enjoying. If it's like you're pulling teeth and all that, it's not going to work. My son, when he came to work, he's been working with me now for a little bit over a year. And when he first came to work, he hadn't worn a suit since he was in high school.
Okay.
So he was intimidated coming in there because, trying to sell it to a doctor, trying to sell it to an attorney.
Yeah.
And you haven't never done this before.
Yeah.
It could be intimidating. But because I'm his dad, he's like, okay, I'm going to stick it out and work through it. So now he's worked through it. But if I wasn't his dad, there's no way he would be doing
what
clothing.
He does.
Yeah, he wouldn't. Yeah. Now, me, on the other hand, that's just what I did because that's what I enjoy doing.
Exactly.
But that's not something he just really enjoyed doing. But now it's starting. Exactly.
He's getting more comfortable.
He's getting more comfortable. And he realizes it's a family business, and so he can see you can make it to where a family business. You don't have to sit back and say there's a ceiling as far as what you can make. It's up to you. It's up to you.
Exactly.
You got to put the work in, and you can increase things. You can have 1 store, 2 stores, 22 stores, but all that stems from you as the individual.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't know if you're familiar with Joseph Shoes.
Oh, used to be downtown?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Years ago.
That was one of my first jobs. Joe promised me a job when I graduated high school.
When I moved, I bought a pair of shoes from him. When I moved, I actually bought some shoes because I said, you know what, these shoes look like the shoes my dad would have in that store back home. Yeah, he had to have some great shoes downtown.
Yeah. And I was actually kind of good at that. And the reason why is because, like you said, I love shoes. Mm-hmm. I love shoes and I love clothes. And so it was easy for me to sell men's shoes because I love shoes. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to get you just as excited about these shoes as I am. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I get when you say passion. Right. Yeah, you're right. You have to have something, or if not, like you said, when we talked before, you just working. You know what I mean? But if you're doing something that you love, you're not working. You know what I mean? You occupying time throughout your day, you know what I mean, and making a living, but you don't work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Especially when you're doing something you love to do, you just enjoy it. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing. You just got to find something that you really enjoy doing, and then that's where you go. And I tell a lot of people too, when it comes to your children, like with my older son, I had him dribbling the ball like he gonna be the next Michael Jordan. And when he got older, he's like, hey, Dad, that's not what I really wanted to do. And that's why after college, he did it a couple years in college, and he decided he didn't want to do it anymore because I was pushing him.
Yeah.
So my second son, who's a lot younger than my older son, I just let him be who he was. Just water whatever it is that person wants to be.
Exactly.
And do that. Don't try to make them be what you feel like they should be.
Exactly.
Everybody is different, even your own children.
Yeah.
They're not like exactly
I
like
just
you,
went
you know.
through that
Yeah.
exact process
Yeah.
with you know, and I know exactly what you're speaking of.
Yeah.
Now for someone that is trying to get into this business, and just well, not even this business, but just to start up a business. You know, and some people think, well, you know, I don't know how to get no license. I don't know how to get, you know, a company started and da. Can you explain in a simple way?
Very simple. If you're going to start a business, either you're going to be a sole proprietor, or you can make it where it's going to be incorporated, or you're going to go with an LLC. Most people that's starting off should go a LLC route. If you go and get incorporated, you got to do meetings,
Limited
every month,
liability
things, right? So if you go with the LLC, you don't have to do as much of those things, but you got to get your license. So this is what you call your registration.
Okay.
You can just go down to the state building and just tell them you're wanting to open up a business, and then what they're going to do is look at the business name that you have and make sure that nobody else has that business name.
Okay.
And then you tell them you want to do an LLC. They give you the paperwork, 2 pieces of paper. You fill that out, pay $35 to $50. I can't remember the exact amount, and that's it. Now you got some people go to an attorney,
Right.
and have the attorney will charge them $200, $300, $400 to get the LLC, and all they did was went down there and got the paperwork.
Right.
That's
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
So it's really not that much to it. So now you got yourself registered. Then you got your business, but you got to have it what they call brick and mortar. So you got to have your building setting or what have you. But then you have some people that
brick
still
and mortar is what? A brick and mortar is what? For those who don't know.
It's the storefront.
Okay.
But the person that just says, I just don't have the money with a storefront. I'm starting from my home.
Okay.
You still can have a tax ID number and all that and have an LLC and run it from home.
Okay.
You know, when I first got here, I was selling clothes out the trunk of my car that I was getting from my dad's store. And then I would have people come to my home, and I would take clothes and spread them across my bed and put a couple things on the wall at my house. And I would sell it to them. So I was just building up my clientele.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
For when
And,
you got the brick and mortar.
Exactly. All you have to do if you want to run a business is go in the direction of the business that you wanted to do. Just go in that direction.
Just
That's
start
it.
just
Let's go in
start
that
just start
direction.
doing something.
Something. When I lost my store in 2011, it was 2008 was when, everything crashed for the most part.
The recession.
Because I held on, but I was in the hood, so my rent wasn't that high, this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, I've been doing so great. Even if my business dropped 25 or 30%, I'll be all right. Well, I didn't know it was going to drop even more than that. Got to the point where I just couldn't hold on. So I had to just move on. So I moved on, and I went and worked at back racks.
Okay.
And I started at back racks. I wouldn't get paid very much money, but I loved that industry.
Exactly.
So I stayed in that industry.
Exactly.
Stayed prayed up, continued to put God first, and was working on myself. And I said, eventually, I'm going to get another store. How's it going to happen? I don't know, but God is on my side.
I'll be back.
And I'm going to be back.
I'll be back.
It was 7-8 years later, but
you back.
Yeah, and it's a whole lot nicer than what I could have ever dreamed of.
It is.
You know what I mean? And it's all
good.
because
I
stayed in that field and was just going in that direction. And if you do that and you do what's right, God, I'm telling you, he'll make it happen, man, every time.
See, that and timing. Everything's in its own timing.
Yeah. God's timing.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
when I was for 8 years, me waiting to do it, would I rather for it to happen in a couple? Yeah,
It was meant to be.
But guess what? It may not been but in God's timing. But I still continued to do that. And what a lot of people don't know, when I closed my store, I went to go work for back racks. They started me off at $8 an hour. Yep. But I knew I was going to outwork everybody.
Humble.
So in 6 months, I was at $20 an hour.
Humble.
I became the manager.
Stay humble.
Yeah. But I knew this is what I wanted to do, not knowing that when I was going to open up my own store 8 years later, that me working for back racks, a company that's been around since 1877, they were totally going out of business. So I bought all the fixtures that they had at that store. And those fixtures are now in my store. So me going there making only $8 an hour, I'm thinking
paid off.
I thought it was like the worst thing
more
ever.
than that.
But God knew what it needed to be happening. Me going there, the things that my dad couldn't teach me as far as working the business, me going to work over at Back Racks, becoming a manager, I got to see things on a whole nother level. So now I know I can have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, or 30 stores. You just got to go in that direction and say that's what you want to do. It's really that simple.
That's
a lot
amazing.
of people are scared to do their own business because of the risk. Nothing is guaranteed. You come to work, like you said, it's raining, so it's going to be a little slower. You don't know what's going to happen. If you go to a job, $10 an hour, you work 8 hours, you got $80. You know
there you go. Yep.
But with your own business, that ain't the case. But see, with me, because I've been around it all my life, and then my dad, he was around all of his life. So I understand the business part of it. So exactly
how it can happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So when it does hit, it's not such of a blow to you, or a surprise as much as an inconvenience and a way to shift.
Yeah, because this is what I'm going to do. But
exactly.
it was a big blow though.
You know what I mean?
Just to lose it, and then you go over and work,
pockets,
and you talking about you go from $150,000 a year to $8 an hour. That's different. So in my mind, I just and I don't know why I was like, some just of all the places I could have went to Saks, Nordstrom's, and got more money. But I knew what I wanted to do in the future. See, mentally, but hold on, John, hold on. Yeah, but let me finish. The point I'm making is this: me going to Saks, that's why I went to Back Racks, because I knew it was a better fit for what I was doing. See, me going to Back Racks, I can see. Working there, I could see how I could have me multiple stores. Right. But me at a Saks or Nordstrom, you
wouldn't have got to see that.
It's a department. It's not
exactly.
It's not a specialty store.
Yeah.
It's not a boutique. You see what I mean? It doesn't have a niche. It's just
I'm part of something else.
To be part of Saks or you're talking billions. That's a pretty big operation. So I knew that wasn't the route. So I had to go to Back Racks to get what I was going to get, to learn what I need to learn, so I could even take what I was doing to another level. I'd say it was like an intern to me. That's what I say it was.
That is an
8-year intern.
You know what? For you to be going through a situation like that, to where, like you said, that is a blow.
Yeah,
that is a major blow, and it is a huge shift in not only financial but everything around you, life. You know what I'm saying? Where you live, what car you drive,
house
everything switches.
I had a Corvette, lost it, got it back, and when I got it back, I realized where I was at, the situation I was in, because I had it custom everything. It was really nice, but then I had to go ahead and take that Corvette. I only had a year to pay it off, so I had some equity in it. I went to the dealership, sold it to them, the Corvette, and with the equity I had in it, I left out with a Cobalt. Yeah, and that's what I had to do, man. Yeah. So I went from a Corvette to a Cobalt, but it's just, and I still was working there, but I just knew that everything was going to work itself out.
And that's what it sounds like. It's for you to be going through something like that, but still have the mind state to say, okay, yeah, this is bad. This is bad right here. This is not a good place for me to be.
Yeah.
But you know what? I still have to keep my eye on where I'm going to be. Exactly. And that is extremely hard when you are in the midst of the storm, to be trying to look and find the sunshine and concentrate on the sunshine where you're dead smack in the center of the storm. That says a lot about you as a person, because many people can't do that. All they can do is focus on, man, the ship is going down, bro. And I don't really know what to do. I'm just in a panic situation. Meanwhile, you're like, hey, I got this little piece of wood. I'm going to hang on to it, but I'm going to keep paddling towards that way, because I know the land's over that way. You know what I'm saying?
On my ship, I knew Jesus was over there laying on his pillow, so I was cool.
Okay. All right. That's it. Cool. That's it right there. That's it right there, man. Oh, hey guys, how you doing? Sorry for the interruption, but we had a malfunction with Al's camera, and we lost footage for video, but we still have audio. So I really want you guys to stay tuned, because there's a lot left of Al's story, and you really don't want to miss it. So stay tuned. Here we go. We spoke about a few things that meant something to you as far as how you do business, and you spoke about follow up.
Yeah.
Explain that.
It's just the whole thing about business, especially when you have a specialty store, is that you want to build a rapport with your customers.
Okay.
You know, so when they come in, you know, I tell my son, and as a matter of fact, I just got on him just the other day, because it's like every Monday, we would just make it where we email all the customers from the previous week. Just to say thank you. Not to ask nothing, they just say thank you, really appreciate your business, have a great day. That's
okay.
it.
That's a tip for y'all right there. That was a tip right there. Y'all can have that for free.
So like the last 3 weeks or so, because there's been so much going on, me trying to get some things going. I'm working on getting my website up in the next few weeks. So I've been just so busy.
Okay, so you about to go online?
Yeah. I was online when I had first opened.
Okay.
And it's just I had to get with a different company, get things worked out, you know, just work out a few things. But this time it's going to be a lot nicer than what it. But it's fine. But it's like I said, I was.
Okay. About how long we got? We got to
about,
wait on
about a couple more weeks.
Couple more weeks? Oh, okay, we right there. Oh, we right there. Okay. All right, cool. Won't even have to leave the house to get fresh now.
And actually, I'm going to make it to where my website is literally going to be a virtual store. So the only thing that's going to be on my website is what's in my store and the sizes that I have in my store. That's it. Now, that doesn't mean they can't call to say, can you get something else? But everything that when they go to look, they'll be able to see, oh, here's my,
that shirt is really there.
Exactly.
I can get that right now.
Right now.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And then I'm going to be doing my inventory each night. So if they get something,
it'll be updated.
It'll be updated, everything. So it's not going to be a person looking at something and thinking, oh, I should have. No, if it says it's your size there, then you're good.
Okay. And now, and I know this is everyone who is in business, work, everything around the world. You know, what has the COVID effect has it had on?
It's pretty much like it's had on everyone else. You know what I mean? I could tell you this much now, but the part that was kind of just really kind of, I don't want to say weird, but it was different. When it first kicked in and where we wasn't able to open.
Right.
I had people actually calling me, and that's what I was saying. When you build a good rapport, you see what I mean. So a lot of people had my cell number. They would call me, and I literally would meet them at the store, but they was calling me because it was funeral related. I sold more suits for funerals and the deceased due to Corona in 3 months than I sold even just at Backrack Zero in the last 5 years for funerals.
Wow.
I sold more in 3 months than I sold for the last 5 years.
I wouldn't even, my mind wouldn't even went in that direction. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But now that you're saying it makes total sense.
Yeah, but it's just it was I was like, whoa.
But you talking about, we were talking about follow up. You know what I'm saying? Now you said people calling you.
Exactly. Yep.
Your store's closed.
Yep.
You at home.
Yep.
But they calling you.
But see, people know when I had players, and it would be times where if a kid's father passed, that kid didn't have a suit, or they didn't have a suit to put his father in, I'd give it to him. I've done that on a few occasions, so people know, and I learned that from my dad. You know, and it's just like, don't everybody go call me, hey, give me a suit. But the bottom line is that I can read people. I can know what a person cannot afford somewhat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so just to be able to look out and do those things to help people that are just in need.
That's beautiful.
It's just,
That's beautiful, man. That's truly beautiful right there.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, building relationships. And you just spoke a little bit on that, because if people were calling you at home to get, then apparently you know how to build a decent relationship. And what are some of the tips that you could use to do these things, besides just being yourself? I mean, being yourself always is number one.
That's the part, John. You literally got to, because sometimes you are gonna have some customers that get under your skin, bro. They can't know they're getting under your skin. They can't know, never. So they'll never ever be like, never. So that's why in my mind I gotta be like, the customer's always right. Now when they leave out the door, I might have said a few things, because I'm saying it while they're there, because that's the mindset that I'm in.
Right.
But at this moment, things they may be doing, I know they're not right.
Right.
But then because I'm still nice and kind. See, like I told you, I do a lot of reading. And what I've learned is this. You have a choice to be kind or right, choose to be kind. Always. And you will go so far. So when they go there or what have you, I'll just remain kind.
Whether
what happens
right
though,
or wrong,
it's just I'm not gonna, because they're the customer, so they're right.
Right.
I'm not right. They're right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if they spend money with me, That's
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You know, because really they come in as an exchange. They come in to get clothes.
Right. And they didn't have to come into your store.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
just because a person's personality may clash with my personality, but even if it's clashing, they don't know it.
Okay.
They don't know it. And it happens
So
often, but they ain't going to feel it. They ain't going to know it. They just not. I have to make sure. And anybody that works for me, they know that as well. My son, he knows that. Now, I've had people leaving me and my son, man, boy, you know, but they never can feel it. And even if he might somewhat get frustrated, you know, I'll let say, son, you know, you're doing good, but you might have could have been a little nicer or what have you. You know what I mean? And he gets where I'm coming from.
Yeah, you showed right. Yours a little bit.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Right there.
Yeah, because he's seen me do certain things, then that person leaves like, Pops, man.
You didn't go on. You didn't snap out.
Prime example. I had a gentleman come to my store. This is the second time he's come in. Mm-hmm. He comes in with his little son. And I'm telling you, his son would just run rampant through the store, grabbing hats, doing this, doing that. So I'm like, oh, man, you know. So you're trying to, how you going to play it? Because this is an upscale type store. What happened? Then this man's asking all these different questions. Oh, this is $500. Can I get it for $250? Just all this stuff, you know. So it's like, it's really starting to just really get under my skin. And so what I told my son was when he came in just a couple days ago, I said, son, you work with him, I'm going to watch the son. And so I would just kind of stay, you know, kind of close by to where the son, because his dad's not standing, and the mother's standing outside. Okay. So now his son goes and gets some hand sanitizer, gobble of it, walking around. Now, and he went to go, a young man, no. And so hey, sir, could you please get your son said, because he has that hand sanitizer. I said, those pants, and I said, you know, it can destroy him.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you're right, you know. But I had to nicely
exactly.
tell him. Last time he was with his son, I didn't say anything to him. But this time, I said, son, I'm going to watch the son. You go ahead and talk with the daddy, and didn't buy nothing. But still, when he left out of there, that kid was, you know, but he didn't have to feel like I was frustrated.
Exactly.
But dude, I was frustrated to the umpteenth degree.
You actually coordinated a plan.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Sometimes you got to coordinate a plan for your customers.
Yeah. Right. Well, that don't happen often. You know what I mean? So, like, I've been there 2 years now. This is the only time this happened. You know, this just happened a couple days ago. But it doesn't happen often because the average person, for the most part, is going to, you know, tell their kid if they're going into a store. Mom's right there. Well, just stay right here with mom. You know, dad'll be right back. You know.
Exactly.
2, 3, 4-year-old kid, you know what I mean? They're not going to really know any better.
No, they don't know. But just the way you handle it, though, is to have the insight, you know, to say, hey, next time this dude comes in, this is what we're going to do as to make, and which, you know, a lot of people wouldn't do, because what you really did was you created a plan to be nice to this individual.
Exactly.
You created a plan to be nice to this individual to handle a situation that was irritating you.
Yes. Yes. And not spending any money.
Yep.
So even if they're not spending money, they're still right.
They're still right.
Because what I know is this. If a person comes in and have a bad experience, they're going to tell 10, 15, or 20 people. But if a person comes to have the regular, normal experience, they're not going to tell anybody. It's normal. So if you go to Burger King and they give you a quarter pounder with cheese, man, I went to Burger King and they gave me everybody you talk to. I'm hungry. Man, you know, you're going to tell everybody about that because it was a bad experience. Right. But if you go to Burger King and you get you the Whopper with cheese and that's what you're supposed to get you eating, you ain't going to go tell somebody, hey, man, guess I just had a Whopper. No, you're not. It's because it's normal. But if something bad happened, you're going to go tell 10, 15, 20 other people.
You're right.
It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
You're absolutely right.
That's why you always see bad stuff on news, because they know that's what sells.
And see that, you know what? And that's the reason why I started this podcast is because you always hear, you know, the phrase, "Oh well, if it was something good, it wouldn't be on the news like that. They wouldn't be spreading it everywhere." Right. Well, I created this show so that we can spread that good.
That's good.
That stuff that you said, you know what I mean, they don't show on the news.
Right.
Here you go.
Yeah.
You know. This is our podcast.
Yes. Yep.
You know,
that's
so
good,
I can bring them individuals like you and say, you know, and spread information and knowledge and experience. Right. You know, firsthand. Right. And help someone else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And show the good that actually, you know, is in the community.
Right.
You know, because you've been in the community for a while, and not only you're not even from Indiana originally, but you came here.
Like,
well, you've
been here 30 years.
You're a Hoosier now.
Yeah, I'm a Hoosier. Oh yeah. When I first came here, it was all Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Come from Illinois.
Oh yeah.
Every time they came to town, I'll make sure I was at the games and all that. But I still would always cheer for Reggie Miller, though. You know what I mean? I was always still that Pacer fan after I got here was here because, matter of fact, I used to sit in Reggie Miller's suite, you know, when he was playing, you know, and so it was.
Your players was doing good.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. But a lot of them, Antonio Davis, Dale Davis, Mark Jackson. You know,
I was good
Reggie.
friends with Dale.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Dale's
Dale's son is. I sold him a suit too.
Oh really?
Yeah, his son's big boy.
Okay.
Yeah, he was Mr. Basketball here, but I think he plays for IU.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was still here.
Oh yeah, he plays for IU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Now because I know, you know, because I know, man, this is some people might think this is, you know, being funny, but this is the truth. And you know it to be the truth. You supply Black Expo, you supply the all white parties, you supply all the Black Expo concerts. You know what I mean? Pretty much the summer events when people got to get dressed up. One of your outfits is there.
Oh, yeah,
if not a whole lot of your outfits are there.
Yeah.
And so all of these places have been shut down due to the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I know that these have affected you. Is there, you know, do you have a lineup, you know what I mean, for next year of you know, maybe how you're going to go about and make things different? I know that, you know, the online is going to change, you know, things, but as far as the storefront or maybe opening up another store.
Yeah, well, it's like I was telling you earlier that I definitely want to open up another store. I'll do another store here in Indianapolis, probably in the next couple of years.
Okay.
But then I want to do a store in Chicago.
Okay.
I want to do a store in Cincinnati, and then I want to do a store also in Detroit.
Okay.
So then when I do those 5,
Detroit, boy, they know how to get.
Get
clean up there.
When I do those 5, that's going to let me know if I can go to 10, 15, or 20. Or when I do the 5, it's also going to let me know if I just need to do 2 or 3, or just that 5. But I'm just saying, but that's my goal. And so that's when I'll say, as far as walking that direction, that's the direction I'm walking in.
Okay. Yeah. Now when you do that, will you let your son branch off and grab one of them?
Oh well, because if I got 5, it's gonna, you know what I mean. He would definitely be running one. But I already talked to him about it. He will be the one that when, like, if I go do the store in Detroit, he'd be the one I go and get things set up. Okay. But he might be the one that'll go there and be there for 6 months just to, you know, kind of, you know what I mean? Just to watch over things, make sure things are being handled the right way, this, that, and the other. And, you know, so I would have him to go that route. Or I may even hire somebody else to do it when that time comes. It just kind of just depends on how things are going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And as far as like, I know that, you know, I mean, but about shipping, as far as you getting your stuff in, has that slowed down or hindered at all? You know,
well, I guess yes, it has, because I have Italian-made goods, and so with Italy, it really has like especially a lot of my shoes.
Right.
But it really did. It slowed down some things. Some of the things I actually had ordered, I didn't get, simply because of all that. A lot of things wasn't made or what have you.
Okay.
Because of COVID.
Right.
So it did affect me somewhat, but not a lot. Because like I said, I got a few things, but I don't have, like, you know, a big bulk of it.
More of the shutdown of the store was more of a hinder than right now, and the shipping and everything. Okay, well that's good though. That's good. You know what I mean? It's not because I know some places, man, their inventory is. Oh yeah. Well you see what I mean? Marshalls, TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
Well,
you know, and then they're talking about with Men's World. They're talking about closing like 500 stores. Yeah, but because like you say, so many things are going online now, and it's just you know, just things are changing. So you have to really keep your eye out on all of those things, man. It's not easy.
Well, man, I know that you are going to do exactly what you say you are going to do. You know, and just listening to you, man, with that, you know, you going to Bacharach, man, and keeping that focus on what you were going to do, not what I'm going to try to do, not what I hope happens. No, I'm gonna keep focused on what I'm going to do, even when this situation is looking completely horrible, and you've done it, man.
I'm gonna tell you something, Doc. This is it's funny that you say that. I remember I was talking to my older brother. And I was like, hey, man, I got to do something, you know, with this, you know, losing the store and this other little, because I was doing jobs, man, holding up street signs. I was just doing whatever I could to make $1, you know, because it just had got that tough. I said, so I'm going to go over here I told him, I said, it was August the 3rd. I'll never forget. I prayed, and I said, hey, man, I said, I'm going to go over to the back. I said, I really prayed about it. I said, and God is leading me to go over to back racks, and I said, that's what I'm going to do. And I did on August the 3rd, and August the 9th, I started working there, you know. And it's just, but I knew it was God-led, because when they first told me $8 an hour, man, I remember the first day was a Saturday, and I never forget. And it took everything in me to not just fall over.
Right.
You know, I'm like, man, you done lost your mind.
Right. Did you see
minimum
my
wage
resume?
is $7.25.
Right. Did you see my resume?
Yeah,
did you really look at that?
Well, they knew, because they even said it when they interviewed me. You know, well, hey, you done had your own business, this, that, and the other. Why should we think that you're not going to try to come here and run everything that we're doing over here? I was like, first of all, I'm on this side of the table. You're interviewing me. I'm getting interviewed.
Right.
So really, it's things that I'm willing and hoping that I can learn
from you
all, because obviously I ain't get it all the way right, because I'm sitting here.
So many people, man, would have been so angry at that point that that their mind would have been too clouded to be thinking about, you know what I'm saying, what I'm going to learn from you. Man, look, man, you're talking $8.
Let me tell you something.
Try to hear that, man. Just look, you gonna give me the job or what?
If a person want to help themselves, see, that's the person that's to work on them. See, if you work on yourself, you earn a fortune. You work on a job, you earn a living. You got to work on yourself. That's what you have to do. And so if you work on yourself, you ain't gonna let somebody else dictate how you gonna feel or how you gonna be. You just got to be consistent with who you are.
Whew, man, you know what, man? With that right there, man, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go on in the house, man, because the street lights is on, man.
All right.
You know,
John, it was my pleasure. That was my
man,
pleasure,
because that right there was powerful, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I said, man, it's been wonderful, man, having you on, man, and I appreciate you coming by. And sharing, man, your gift.
I appreciate it, man.
Because
anytime
truly
you need me,
what
John,
you do is your gift.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? No problem at all, my man.
All right.
Much love,
God bless
baby.
you.
But there you have it, guys. Alfonso Wright, Al's Modern Clothing, man. Later.
They all need money.